Get ready to have your mind blown by NStack, the coolest SwiftUI library in town that's all about making navigation a breeze. Imagine waving goodbye to all those headaches and confusion when dealing with navigation in your app. NStack swoops in with its super intuitive API and a bunch of awesome features that will have you wondering how you ever lived without it. Seriously, whether you're a coding guru or just dipping your toes into SwiftUI waters, NStack is like that buddy who's always got your back, making your app's navigation smoother than a hot knife through butter. Don't miss out on the navigation stack that is the most awesome in SwiftUI. Your app deserves it. Now, you will be able to find NStack at store.rebeloper.com/NStack. The link is also down in the description. So go ahead and check it out. We have also some written documentation here. That's basically a teaser for it because it can do so much more. But just to recap over here, there's this one simple unified API and it supports iOS 14 plus and also iOS 17. So most of the SwiftUI versions, SwiftUI 2 till SwiftUI 5 is supported. There's dependency injection on dismiss callback. You can easily set up deep links and pop to root or any other view that you have on the NStack. We are going to cover all of these, and it supports links, sheets, and full screen covers. Really simple with a really simple API. And setup is, easy two-step setup. So today we are going to do this with a project, what I have created here. And currently I'm using XCODE 15 beta. So, you can see that's actually working on iOS 17, but it also works with iOS 14 plus. Okay. So what we need to do first, before we get into how to add NStack, let's just go through a little bit of my demo starter project right over here. We have the content view and some state variables, which we are going to talk about later, a list with a button, and the person has some mock data. This is our model ID and the name because it has to be identifiable and equatable, and some mock data on that for each view. It will be inside the list. Really simple content view. We are going to navigate to our destination one view, which has a dismiss environment. So this is how we regularly dismiss our views inside navigation in SwiftUI. So that's our dismiss button, and we are going to go to destination 2 view, the same thing. And we are going to go to destination 3 view. Right over here, we're just going to simply dismiss and also implement the pop to root. There's also a detail view, which will require a person. And basically that's it. It will say hello, the person's name, and it will just dismiss it. And once again, here is our person model. So let's jump right into it. First of all, what we need to do is, grab NStack and drag and drop it onto our project. And there we go. We have that. And I try to make navigation as simple as possible. Therefore, I try to implement the way that the sheet or full screen cover view modifier is implemented in SwiftUI. So you will be really familiar with this API. It's a unified API for all types of navigation. I simply think that you will just love it. So what do we do first? Well, we know that the content view needs to be inside some sort of a stack, navigation stack or a navigation view. But, because it's iOS 14 plus, we don't really know if we want to use navigation view or navigation stack. Therefore, you are going to use just NStack. So type out NStack over there. It has only one initializer with the root, and then just drop the content view onto the root. And that's how we create our NStack. Next up, let's take a look at the content view. And basically, it will be so simple. We are going to just navigate to destination one view. So I already have here a state variable. So what we are going to do is just toggle that. That's our trigger. And how do we set it up? Well, usually if you just want a sheet, you just go with a sheet and is presented content or on dismiss content. But we want even more. We want the power of NStack. So we just go and type out navigation and open parentheses, and you will see these four types of initialization. One with the is presented destination and one with the on dismiss destination, and the other type is item destination and item on dismiss destination. Now you see we have those two types. We're just going to start off with the simplest one, and well, let's just go with the on dismiss so you can see also when we are dismissing. So type here and you just go with a dot and you can select link, sheet, or full screen cover. Now link is kind of like the navigation stack, navigation view, navigation when you are using, for example, a navigation link from SwiftUI. Basically, it's just sliding those next views on top of each other. Sheet and full screen cover, you already know, it's just going to be presented from the bottom. So let's just select, well, maybe let's go for a sheet for now. And then the is presented, we are going to say dot is, oh, not dot, but $ is destination view presented. So we are binding that state variable. On dismiss, we just hit return there, and let's print out maybe dismissed. There we go. And the destination, well, is just destination one view. And let's just also add some presentation details. Why not? Just to show you that it's actually working. Let's just go with medium. And believe it or not, that's all you have to do. We just set up our simple navigation. Now, one thing to note here is that the navigation view modifier is put outside of the list or any lazy stack. So lazy view, lazy grid, all of those lazily loaded views, they have to be, you should not add the navigation inside. That's because of the navigation destination with the navigation stack part. It's just details. Make sure that you put the navigation view modifier outside of any list or lazily loaded view. Okay, so let's see how it goes. There we go. We have our content view. And if we click on destination view right over here, here we have it. Hello destination one view. We have these two buttons. If we tap outside of the sheet, you see it's dismissed. If we slide the sheet, it's also going to be dismissed. And also if we, of course, tap on the dismiss button, it will be dismissed. And yeah, that's it. It couldn't be simpler than that. Now, let's move forward and let's navigate from destination 1 to destination 2. And again, I do have this state variable already present there. So let's add our destination, navigation, destination here, navigation, open parentheses. I'm just going to use, again, a sheet. So dot sheet is presented, $, is destination 2 view presented. On dismiss, well, for now, let's just print out dismissed. And for the destination, well, we could just add in here destination 2 view. But I do know that from destination 2 view, I'm going to use not a sheet type of navigation. I'm going to use a link type of navigation. Therefore, I'm going to put this into an NStack. So NStack, there we go. And we are going to put the destination 2 view in there. And by the way, maybe we could just set this up for a full screen cover. Why not? And on destination, well, let's just test it out. And then we are going to add on destination 2 view how we can go to destination 3. So now, there we go. We have a full screen cover. We can just dismiss it and also dismiss over there. it's working excellent. So now on destination 2 view, we are going to move to destination 3 view. So let's add the actual trigger there. So we are going to toggle that, and we are going to set up a link right over here. So navigation, open parentheses, and type, there will be a link. Now is presented, $sign is destination 3 view presented on this mist. For now, let's just print out this mist. Of course, you may omit this, but we are going to use this with the pop functionality. So I'm just already using the on this mist, and then it's just destination 3 view. So let's see if the link type of destination works now. So there we go. Destination 2 view, we have a full screen cover, and then destination 3 view. It's really, really nice. We can just dismiss again, just slide it down. Of course, if we chose maybe another sheet, that could also work. So it's really, really fast and easy to just change the types of destinations, well, navigations, with that simple type. So let dismiss and dismiss. Great. So that's how you just go through things with a Boolean value, with the state is destination presented. But there's another one. So we just had navigation type is presented. But there is also one with the item, and we already have a selected person right over here. And we are going to add this to our button. Basically, we are going to set the selected person to be this person. Okay, so this is the trigger. Currently, it's an optional nil person because none of the persons is selected. So let's set up our navigation. So dot navigation, open parentheses, and now we are going to use the one with the item. And again, I'm going to choose the one with the on dismiss so we can see it. So we have the type, and let's just go for a full screen cover right over here. And then the item, it has to be a binding of an optional, equatable, and identifiable. And indeed, our person is equatable and identifiable. These two, well, they're identifiable usually because it's required because usually you are going to set all of these up inside a for each view. So you don't have to bother about the IDs. And equatable because of the navigation inside navigation stack. Okay, so the item, we are going to bind the selected person. On dismiss, again, let's print out dismissed. Destination, you see, we are going to get back that person. So we are just going to say person right over here. And again, I'm going to use a link. Let's just have an NStack. Well, actually, I'm not going to use a link. I think I want to show also the navigation title inside our detail view with the person. And this will add in here a person, an optional item. Therefore, we can just go and have that person. So let's take a look at a little bit about on the detail view. So you see we have this person, and yeah, let's just have a navigation title of a detail view. Why not? So yeah, we can see that that title will be available when we are presented inside the full screen cover. Okay, let's build and run. Again, it's that simple. So let's build and run. Let's click on Ada right over here. We have the detail view. We can just dismiss, Bob, dismiss. It's really, really straightforward. This is how you add a selected item. Okay, so basically that's the bulk of it. That's the main part of NStack. But there's a little bit more, and that is the deep links. And I would like to call them deep pops because you could just pop, not just pop to root, but also popping to a certain view that you have inside your stack. So for that, you would just need to have a little bit of setup. This will definitely work easily. Of course, you may put all of these into an observed class, previously an observable object. Yes, and then have it available as an environment/environment object. But I prefer this to be on the view itself. This is how Apple is moving into only state type of data handling. Yeah, but because we do need to know when and how to trigger these state variables inside each individual view, we need an environment for that, definitely. So let's create a new file right over here, a new file, and I'm going to name this deep link. Okay, let's create that. Let's import SwiftUI, and this will be an observable. Now this is as of iOS 17, SwiftUI 5. If you are prior to that, then just please use an observable object with the published variable. It will be just the same. So class deep link, there we go. And then we need a variable of should present, and that is set to false. Should we present a deep link? Of course, if you have multiple deep links, then this variable should be named appropriately. So maybe should present profile or should present a product. But you want to have these as booleans. And also, when you are going to trigger this, you also want to make sure that it's going to be triggered only once when you got your URL. Therefore, we also need to store another variable, and that is did present. So this is set to false by default, and when that deep link will be presented, we are going to set the did present to true. Therefore, we are never going to trigger the deep link again. And if you have multiple deep links again, just use these two pairs. Okay, so what do we actually want to do? Well, first of all, let's see where we could grab a deep link. And basically that is on the app file. So there's an URL, an on open URL, and then you can just perform some deep links according to that URL. I'm just going to mimic it currently. I'm just going to have this triggered on the onAppear. So we do need access to the deep link. Let's just create it here. So at state private var deep link, and that is equals to our deep link. Okay, next up we want to have it available as an environment. So dot environment deep link. Now, if you are prior to iOS 17, just use a state object and environment object instead. Okay, so on Appear, we want to trigger the deep link when we got that URL. Deep link dot should present. We're just going to toggle it. Okay, so false from false to true. That's fine. Now, we are going to do this when the NStack is presented. Therefore, we just go into the content view and we are going to listen to those changes. But first, let's see how can we get hold of our deep link environment. Well, at environment deep link.self private var deep link. Okay, that's as simple as it gets. Of course, if you are prior to iOS 17, just use an environment object. Okay, so right now we want to listen to the changes on the should present. So we are going to set up an on change view modifier. And here we are going to say deep link dot should present. So this is what we are listening to. And we are going to listen to the new value basically. So if that is true, if a new value basically, and we did, and the, not deep link, let me just type it out, not deep link did present. So we did not already present, then we should actually present. And usually I like, this is a preference, but usually I like to wait a little bit so the content view will be presented and then we navigate away. By the way, the deep link that we are building is going to navigate all the way up to destination 3. So I'm going to use dispatch queue here, dispatch queue.main.async after deadline.now plus, and let's just go for 0.6 seconds. Now, even if you don't want the content you do to be presented, please use dispatch queue because in my experience, it's just not going to like animate from the content view to the destination one view. So yeah, please use dispatch queue.main async after. What are we going to execute? Well, we are going to toggle the is destination one view presented because that's already being set up. So what we are going to execute self.is destination view presented dot toggle. So this is fine. This is just the beginning of the deep link, but let's say we just wanted to go to destination one view. Let's see what happens. There we go. It automatically, after 0.6 seconds, going to show the destination one view. Okay, this is when we are listening. But what happens when we arrive to destination one view? Let me just go there, destination one view. And we want to move to destination two view. Well, here we are not listening because this listener will be set up after the trigger has been made on the should present. But when this view appears, that's a good time to check if we should actually present destination to view. Therefore, on the onAppear, I ask on the deep link. So let me just copy out the environment for the deep link and paste it into destination one view and destination two view. So coming back to destination one view, we want to check if the link should present and not deep link did present. Yeah, that's how it is. It should present and it did not already present our deep link. Then again, the dispatch queue, let me just copy it out so I don't have to type that over again. Well, let me see. And we are going to navigate to destination to view. So let's see that. And by the way, now it's 0.6, but we should wait. Well, that's fine. This is fine. Let's just go for 0.6 after this has been presented. It's right. It's really, really amazing. Now let's do the final step, and that is moving from destination 2 view to destination 3 view. This will be our last deep link step. So I'm just going to copy out the onAppear and then put it right over here. But now there's a catch here. So first of all, we need to go to destination 3 view. And then we want to terminate the deep link. This is the last step. Therefore, I just go self.deeplink.did present. Come on. Let me just type that out correctly. Did present equals true. And therefore, when we are going to come back to destination 1 view, it will not be triggered, or rather destination 2 view, it will not be triggered. So let's just dismiss. As you can see, this view appeared, but we are not moving to the destination 3 view. There we go. Dismiss again. Dismiss. Destination 1 view. It's as it should be. And yeah, that's how easy it is to add deep links. Finally, I'm going to show you how you can add deep pops. And while we, as an example, we are going to pop to root from destination 3 view. Okay, let's see. What we need to do is create a deep pop observable. So let's create a new file. Swift file, next deep pop. Okay, let me just copy out all of this and let's see what we actually need to change on this. First of all, it has to have a name of deep pop, and we don't need the did present because now we are just navigating back. What we should do is replace should present to should pop. And again, if you have multiple pops, multiple deep pops, not just one with the dismiss environment, then you should just say should pop to root or should pop to profile view or whatever you see fit. In this case, you don't need again two of them, only one. Let's set up this as an environment. So let me just hit Command D on this line, and that will duplicate and change it to the pop and set this up as an environment deep pop. Okay, so we have that. Now, we want to dismiss this on the destination free view. This is where we want to start. Therefore, I'm going to go now kind of backwards because from destination free view, we are going to go to the content view. So now just think about it. All of these views are presented. Content view, destination 1, destination 2, and destination 3. What we need is to get access to our deep pop. So at environment deep pop dot self, and that will be a private var deep pop. Okay, I'm going to copy this out and paste it also into the destination 2 view and destination 1 view. Okay, so coming back to destination preview, what do we need to do? Well, we first need to initialize the deep pop. So a deep pop dot should pop dot toggle. Okay, we toggled that. But of course, nothing will happen. We do need to dismiss right over here. So we are dismissing the destination free view. So what happens there? We are dismissing the destination free view. Therefore, the navigation that, navigated to this destination free view, its on dismiss will be triggered. So here we can just ask if deep pop dot should pop, and that will be true, we are going to dismiss using again the environment from SwiftUI. Now again we dismiss this. What happens on destination 1 view? Well, it's the same thing. We want to check for the environments is should dismiss. So if deep pop dot should pop, then we are going to dismiss. But this is actually the last dismiss. If we dismiss the destination 1 view, then the content view will be presented. We want to stop the actual should pop environment. Therefore, before we dismiss, we are going to put this back, deep pop dot should pop equals false. And now we are back to square one. We can again pop to root from destination free view. Hopefully that wasn't that complicated. Let's see how it goes. So there we go. We have our deep link. And if I tap on pop to root, it's just going to dismiss it all the way back to root. Again, you could just set this up to whatever view that you have on your stack. Now that is NStack, the simplest SwiftUI navigation from iOS 14 all the way up to iOS 17 and most probably plus. Now, if you like SwiftUI navigation, make sure to check out my video on the shortest SwiftUI course in the world. Check it out, it's right over here.